Our author was Marcus Tullius Cicero, and the essay was about his defense against injustice. These are just some fun facts about him.
Cicero was born in the hill town Aperinum, about 60 miles southwest from Rome.
His parents' names, his dad's name was also Marcus Tullius Cicero and Helvia Cicero.
He had a brother named Quintus Tullius Cicero.
His name came from a Latin word, chickpea, or chickpea. I don't really know how to say it.
Yeah, it's chickpea, from the Latin word sister. His father was a wealthy member of Equestrian group. He was more or less sort of like a knight, and he paid for like Tullius and his brother to study philosophy and rhetoric.
Cicero attended philosophical schools. The Stoicism of, I'm not good, Lucius,
Stoicism,
Stilo, and Diotos, and the Empress, which was the head of a new academy, which is kind of weird because the new academy was by Plato, and there was a beginner academy, an intermediate academy, and then a new academy. Or no, an old academy, an intermediate academy, and then a new academy.
He also studied law after a military service and argued a first legal case in 1881 BC.
He divorced his first wife between the winter of 47 to 46 BC. He had a daughter named Tullia, born in 79 BC.
He had a son born in 64 BC by the name of Marcus Tullius Cicero Minor.
And
Minor wasn't really a part of his name. It's just how to distinguish him from.
he married his ward, Publilia, in late 46 BC.
A ward was like an adopted child. Let that sit with you as you will.
So he married an adopted child?
Yes. Cicero wrote many works. I mean, there were a lot of different works he'd written, but these are just like few of his most famous. Yeah, there's Indurant and 1 through 4, and Calician, Philippi, just a lot of them.
And his works were they were credited for the start of the Renaissance in the 18th century with like, it was humanism and people's rights and everything.
Like, Cicero's audience is pretty much just the general public, or at least the literate people of that time. Like, his argument for injustice, his whole argument was two people just, like, debating, like, in defense of injustice. One guy pretty much said, hey, you argue for injustice. He's like, okay. And ironically, he pretty much argues for justice, while supposedly arguing for injustice.
Right, his today influences, like in his essay, he kind of proves that justice is not static. Like, it's never the same, as it changes over time, and we can see that because, you know, the slaves were freed in the 1860s by Abraham Lincoln, and then women's rights came along and they were free, and now homosexual marriage is starting to come along, and it's eventually going to be freed in every state because they just keep pushing and pushing for it, and that proves that justice is not static or anything. He also influenced Martin Luther and John Locke for their for his views on people's rights, and then he influenced the founding fathers to write the first draft of the Declaration of Independence of America.
Like, for some of the questions, what extent and is Phyllis a feminist? Phyllis was one of the two people having the debate. He was mostly a feminist because he pretty much, like, acknowledged the unfair right that women couldn't own property or money. So, pretty much that's just like pointing out the injustice, the whole concept. And does arguing a positive value help our understanding that value is importance? Yes. Devil's advocate is a wonderful way just to have some objectivity in your thinking. Like, it lets you either do one or two things. It keeps you from just being unreasonable in your assumptions, like lets you see flaws in your own thinking, or lets you see strength in your own thinking, and better reinforce what you believe in.
And it's a works cited.